everybody. It's Bad Brad. It is now my 58th birthday, and we are going live here. The wife and kid are out getting a manicure, so we are here. We're having a little Red Bull toast, waiting for the room to get filled up. How's everybody doing out there? That's delicious. All right. So we ventured out on my birthday to go check out some of the local guitar shops. Now, just two that I really know of in the Tampa area. But it was interesting to get out there and, see what was available. And one of the shops was really cool, really cool. And I'll do a little video about that. It took a little bit of Hey, CC, welcome. You were the first in the room. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here on my birthday. We're just getting started here, just getting the vibes flowing. And I was just telling everybody that we went and checked out some guitar shops today. And the first one was really good. And then the local guitar center here in Tampa was kind of rough. It was kind of rough. And then my daughter had a little bit of a breakdown. And so we weren't able to stay long there. But the wife and my daughter are out getting their nails done or something. So I'm here at the house. I got a little bit of time to hang out with you guys here. Please hit that thumbs up button. It's my birthday today, and I didn't get to buy a guitar. Thank you, Joey. Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I'm glad to do this work. I feel like this is too bad about Sam Ash. Yeah, I guess I didn't get here in time to check out the Sam Ash, so I guess it's completely gone, right? The Guitar Center, man, was kind of depressing, to be honest with you. And they had a few things in there, but it's poorly maintained. And the used amp section was like the land of broken dreams. I was just seeing amps that were all like put up wet, put up, what do they call it? Put up wet and rode hard and put up wet. They were all just rode hard and put up wet. Now I know Florida probably beats the hell out of your equipment with that heat. But man, it was kind of depressing in there. And then my daughter started having a breakdown of she wanted a bongo, and my wife was like, you can't have a bongo, it's not your birthday. And then that just spiraled into, okay, we have to leave, because she was just crying. And, I would have bought her, probably got her the bongo, but, once they have a breakdown like that, it's just like, well, we've got to teach you that you can't have everything in life. And I told her when we left, I said, if you'd have been cool about it, and come and talk to me about the bongo, I might have bought the bongo for you. Thank you, Phoenix. How you doing? Michael, how you doing? Happy birthday. Thank you, sir. I'm glad to have you all here. This is, I'm starting to realize that this is my therapy. I'm kidding. I'm going on YouTube. Mia needs a bongo. I know. Well, I think we have one around the house, and she's got 2 acoustic guitars and an electric guitar. So she is not starved for instruments, but she's at the phase where she wants something every time we go. Doing good, working today. All right, Phoenix. We're having a little Red Bull. We're doing a little chat. It's my birthday. We're having a little fun. What did Spicoli say in Fast Times? Learning about Cuba, having a little pizza, right? The tasty waves and a cool buzz, man. So anyway, so we didn't get, I wanted to like, look, first of all, from where we live, yeah, therapy has two wheels and a big motor. Yeah, that would be therapeutic. Although my dream is to one day maybe I can buy a Corvette or something. Maybe I can. I'm past my midlife crisis, so there's no excuse for that. But how many years sober are you now? Zenland. I don't keep track of any of that. I just stopped drinking. So, I would say at least probably 3 years, my daughter's 3, and I may have had a sip of alcohol on a gig. What is your favorite guitar? Lord says. My favorite guitar is the one that's in my hands. I don't have any in my hands right now, but man, even a cheap guitar, I can find something to like about it, but yeah, I just like the guitar. It's just something about it. It's something about the chord and plugging into that amp and it's an unpredictable art playing guitar. For me, I thought playing guitar was kind of like playing pinball, and that your body English translates to the instrument. I quit 10 years ago. Best decision I ever made. Yeah, I agree with you, man. It's just, and I'm starting to notice some of the older, guys like me, we just don't have time for it anymore. I don't have time for it, and it's a waste of money. So for me, it wasn't about, going to rehab and working the system or all that. I just stopped. Man, I had so many years of, and so many beers. But yeah, we're here on my birthday, and now it's Red Bull, man. We're having a little Red Bull. On my birthday, we got 11 people in here. Let's hit that thumbs up. Let's hit that subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, there's a lot of different stuff that we do on this channel, and I play some, and I demo stuff every now and then. But everybody tunes in for the stories, right? Bucks are playing tonight. Man, now see, my wife was saying, the Bears are playing tonight? Football's? I said, yeah, I think football's getting ready to start. So I'm gonna have to start following the Bucks. And the next day, too much time wasted on recovering. Yeah, the recovery was brutal. But I had gotten to the point when I was on the road, I was drinking so much that I didn't even feel hungover anymore. It was just, Nikos, how you doing, sir? Glad to have you here. We're having a little Red Bull. We're having a little chat on my birthday. That's right. Years and beers and then tears. Yeah, because if you keep on that path, it is going to be tears. Absolutely right. But the football starts tonight. Is everybody excited about that? Thank you, Nikos. Thank you. I hope I get many more years and many more years on YouTube, right? Spreading the message. Just feeding wood pigeons. All right. That's good, Nikos. That's good. Hey, somebody's got to feed them, right? Jaguars are playing today. Living in Nashville all those years, I grew to be a Titans fan, but Titans was such a kind of a new team that it's like it was always everybody's second team. When I was a kid, I grew up, I liked the Redskins, but they are no more, and they're just a shell of a football team these days. So Titans might actually be pretty good this year, but when I play Madden, and I do, that's the one video game that I play. I play Madden online, and I play as the Bucks because I've got my game's like a couple years old, and I like Brady. So I've been playing as the Bucks for the last couple years. Dallas, all right, Dallas. So I guess maybe I'll tell the wife tonight, hey, I want to go somewhere where we can watch the game, right? So you go, well, you want to watch the game? I want the game on in the background. You guys can piddle around and Mia can color, but maybe we'll go somewhere where they got the game on. What times are the games coming on tonight? That's the question. What time's the games coming on? Yeah, let's get the party started right. Seahawks 49er household here. Man, I used to watch Joe Montana. Busted at Tesco today with that MXR made 12 and 40 minutes better before security told you to leave. Man, hang in there, Nikos. Thank you, Alan. Busking. Nikos is busking. Phoenix. I don't know. We don't know what time it is. I guess I'm at best these days a casual fan of the NFL, but I'll turn it on. If it's on like Christmas or Thanksgiving or something like that, I'll be like, hey, let's turn on the game. To give you something to kind of watch with the family so you don't have to talk about politics, right? We can all just watch football and hoop and holler about that. Working at the tattoo studio. All right, Phoenix. All right, I don't have any tats, bro. I don't have any. I am tatless. I'm unmarked. I'm unmarked, bro. So is everybody doing good out there? We want to talk about music. We want to talk about guitars. I know this isn't a sports channel. Wanted to pop in and say happy birthday, my brother, Mr. Elmore. Y'all, everybody that follows this channel, check out the Mr. Elmore channel as well. He's a good dude. And he used to live here in Tampa, so he's giving me some tips. All right. Yes, indeed. We're having a little Red Bull. We're having a little chat. We're having a little fun. I got my AC/DC Powerade shirt on. So I was talking earlier. Yes, I will hook you up with my whole crew. Thank you, Mr. Elmore. I appreciate it. Went to Replay Guitar Exchange today, Elmore. I'm sure you know that store. It's the best store in the area. And let me tell you something about guitar stores in towns that are not, all right. That place rocks, he says. Okay, so, Replay is these little stores like, I would consider like Tampa, maybe, Nashville, LA, New York. Those are like prime markets for probably guitars and stuff like that. And Tampa, you got to say maybe that's a third market or, it's a lower market, and, I didn't get a good report when I talked to the owners there about, Tampa and what the gigs pay. I was talking to them. I said, this is what I was used to getting paid, before I left Nashville. I was up to sometimes $500 a show. And Tatless in Tampa, that's my new album. Tatless in Tampa, bro. The new album from Badbrad. It will roast your eyeballs and sear your arm hair. Yes, indeed. So, but yeah, people are working for $200 a gig, maybe some tips. I saw one of the stages. Somebody, told me about a place called Whiskey Joe's, and I saw the little beach stage that they have there. And, it's cool and everything, but man, I just think about how the work I would have to do to get that $200, learning the 4 hours of songs, and I'm sure it's a different group of songs and doing all that. I'm not quick to want to do that right now. But I am having an absolute blast here on YouTube. We've got 16 in this room. Let's get this room popping. If you got any friends online, tell them to check out this live. In fact, maybe is there a way I can share this? Let's see. What is that? Is there a way to share it? No, chat viewing options. No, I don't want that. There probably is. Share. Here we go. I'm going to share it to my Facebook and go. All right. Hit the like button, guys. Let's get this thing popping. We're having a good time here on the YouTube, man. So, yeah, that is a really good guitar store. And what I was going to say about Replay Music Exchange, Guitar Exchange, or something like that. Man, the prices were crazy good in there. Crazy good. like way better. I mean, here's the thing. They have a sale August 31st. It's a in-person, it's like a closeout sale every year. And dude, they had like 4 Les Pauls for $1,600. Now, man, you cannot, I don't even know if you can get a used one for that. And they were the custom color like ones. I think they were 60s or 50s or 60s. And man, 60, I was like, dude, if they won't sell them. They've got them behind the curtain, and here's our blowout items, and this is your incentive to come to our sale. And but $16.59, I believe, was the price for those. And I told my wife, I said, I asked the guy, I said, so in other words, I'm gonna have to line up at that door and be one of the first people to get in to get that guitar at that price. And he was like, yeah, probably so. So I don't know if I'll be willing to get up and be there at 5 in the morning and stand in line for all that. That might be a bit much for me. Thank you. Al Bundy is in the house. Have some Hooters on me. All right, Al. Thank you, brother. Thank you, sir. We're having fun here. We got happy birthday. Thank you, Citizen G-Man. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody, for dropping by. We're here. We're having fun. We're talking guitars. We're having fun. We got Elvis in the background. We got Jimi Hendrix here. We got the Struts. And we got Van Halen, man. That's my Van Halen right there. So we're set up here. My place is still a mess. I mean, if I turn this camera around now, you would be in horror. It would be Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now. The horror. Because it's a mess. I got totes still. I got stuff all over the floor. My desk. I've been working, churning out these videos, and there's a giant thing of unsweet tea that I fuel myself while I'm doing all the editing and all that stuff. And it's this moving thing has been an experience, but I'm glad to be here. Now, yesterday we have this massive pool, I will call it, at my place. And I didn't go live yesterday while we were there, but it has, you can rent cabanas, and it has an aquabana, like a little cabana that's floating. So we had a cabana and an aquabana for me and my wife and my child. So we could have had 16 people in this thing that we rented at the pool the other day. But it was nice to have our own little area to chill at and get out of the sun for a minute and all that. And man, it is just beautiful. The water is just blue, crystal blue. So we had a great time there. Awesome tea. Yes, AC/DC is in the house. I love AC/DC, especially the Bon Scott era, right? How's everybody doing? We are having some fun. We're doing our thing here on YouTube. Thank you so much for everybody for tuning in. It is my birthday, and I am 58 years old today. Unbelievable. And still, on my birthday, I had somebody troll me for my hair. Sand Key Park is the place to go, brother. Beaches are paradise there. All right, I'm gonna have to check that out, Mr. Elmore. I was getting trolled today. It's just, I'm like, really? It's my birthday, bro. Like, apparently it's still, they still think I've got a wig. I wish it were that easy. I wish I could just, I don't even know what a cabana is. Al, you know what a cabana is. It's just it was basically like a little like tent like thing that had a little ceiling fan in it and a little like outdoor couches. That's all it was. Cheers, Al. Thank you. We're having a little Red Bull. We've got 13 in here. We're strong. I think there would be plenty of decent paying private gigs there once you find the right guys. Now, I talked to the owners of Replay Music. And I told them flat out what I was making, just when I did the corporate and wedding type gigs in Nashville. And that, it is a big, big scene in Nashville playing those type of gigs. And on the good ones, I was making $500 a show just for me. I use chords, Lord. So, my buddy Jerry would love to jam with you, dude. He's a keyboard vocalist and plays everywhere in Tampa. That would be awesome, Elmore. That would be awesome. So I told these guys, I said, from what I understand, and I said, I understand the pay is, thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much. My good friend, Alicia, and her husband, Michael Fair, is the guy that gave me my first gig in Nashville. So everybody say hello to Alicia. Smash that like. Yes, indeed, we are live. We're live just outside of Tampa before your naked, steaming eyes. Here we are. Yes, indeed. We're having a little Red Bull, having a little chat here on the YouTube. But yeah, the pay down here for gigs, I was telling them what I was making, and they were like, man, it's no gigs that pay that much here. And my wife's, well, but maybe you. I said, look, these guys were veterans in that music store. These guys know what's going on. And they said most of the gigs down here in Tampa are duos, and most pod guest Kevin Sorbo. All right, Nikos. Most of the gigs here in Tampa are solo or duo type gigs. The acoustic kind of thing, which is, it's really not, I told him, I said, I like to play with a drummer, and I like to, bounce off ideas off the band and kind of create on the gig. And I don't know if I'm going to find that kind of work here. All right, I thought it was some Scarface stuff. Haha, no. But yeah, so they were shaking their heads. And I said, the corporate wedding thing, and they're like, well, they have that here, but nobody's making that kind of money. CC says, hello to Alicia. Yes, indeed. So I don't know, man. As far as the gigging thing here goes, I almost feel like I need to just keep carving my path. Yeah, they were like, yeah, well, maybe try Nashville. I told them I just left Nashville. And we had to come down here. So, yeah, I don't know if the amount of money that's going to be offered on these gigs is going to be worth me, even making the effort. But, I'm still going to keep an open mind and try and find some situations where I can play live, because there is nothing like playing music live. But man, I gotta have a good drummer, man. I gotta have a good bass player, at least a power trio, and I can make things happen, right? The thought of playing Margaritaville on an acoustic guitar, I can do it, but it just doesn't excite me. So would love to Florida, the way things are going in UK and EU. Yeah, man, I think, Nikos, I think that's a worldwide problem. I think everything's kind of going south a little bit, but we don't do politics on this channel, man. Get to nibbling that sponge cake, yeah. And stepped on a pop top. Every time I would have to sing that song or hear that song, I can remember when I was a kid and I came to visit my grandmother down in Florida, and we walked to the Jiffy Mart, because that was one of the only stores on the island, right? And I stepped on a pop top and cut my heel. And so every time I hear that, it's like my foot hurts, just thinking about it. So I think that's a very real thing if you live in Florida. I find that in Florida, you feel less the need to have shoes. I think there's something about it down here. I've put my feet in some of those, I don't know, sliders they call them or whatever. I had some sliders that I never used, and all of a sudden I've got the sliders on and I'm walking around. it just feels like it's the way to be. We got 24 people in here. Let's smash that like button. We're having a little Red Bull chat. If there's something you want to talk about, hit me up in the comments. We'll get on that topic. Any questions you may have about the music business or playing guitar or bands that you love or bands that you hate. Does anybody have any bands that they just despise? Yeah, I mean, when you hear it, you're just like, here's the thing. I don't know if I have any bands that I despise, but there's definitely, it's some of those bands that when you're growing up and they were just terrible, it's those bands that gave me the thought that I even had a shot at making it in this music business. Where should I go next after learning most of the triads? Nico's, learn your triads. And I'm sure your garden, I call it garden variety chords. Your major sevenths and your minor sevenths, and then your dominant sevenths, and then your dominant sevenths with the sharp five and the flat five and all that stuff. That's a big thing. Clearwater had such a great music scene in the old days. So many places to see bands. Tampa for sure. Now crickets. Now that's what the guys were saying. They were saying at Replay Music that the Tampa scene was already kind of struggling before COVID. And then when COVID hit, it's like all the bands just gone. Love to hear your opinions on vintage guitars compared to new ones. Okay. So Ben, thank you, Scott. I'm trying to keep up. Wonder if St. Pete is popping still. It looks like it may be a little bit, Elmore. So someone's asking my opinion on vintage guitars versus new ones. The vintage game, unless you're like filthy rich these days, I don't even feel like it's something you should even really be messing with. It's like, it seems like the really good ones get snatched up by people that have, deep pockets. And, so if you're trying to dip your toe and find something, Histones. Okay, I'll try and get to that, Elmore. But yeah, I feel that, I'm more, to be honest, I like new guitars. And I know vintage guitars, some of them can really have some great mojo. But, to me, it's like you can pick up some vintage guitars and they don't have it. And then every now and then you'll find one and that really has some mojo and has its own like thing to it. So, the main thing is when you're buying any guitar is to try everyone in the shop. If you're looking for a Tele, yeah, the PRS SE line is great for, I picked up a SE Silver Sky in Guitar Center just a few minutes ago, and I was impressed by the way the neck felt. I was almost like, should I buy this thing? And I was like, nah. I really kind of like the near field one, the new one with the 3 near fields. I like PRS stuff a lot. So anyway, that's the question on that. I'm getting also texts in here from my old friend Rachel Rodriguez is sending me a happy birthday wish. So that's kind. That just popped up on my phone. I missed some of the messages there. Let me see if I can get there back. My feet turned purple from Florida sun. It beat my Cherokee. Okay. Put my first gig scar on my Jackson today. I left it in the bag with all the coins and threw it in the boot. Yeah, man, that's going to happen. Your thoughts on a player like Danny Elfman? I'm not familiar with Elfman's actually his guitar playing, so I can't really comment on that. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on that topic. No problem at all. I hated the bald area, except the Scorpions. Have you seen Marty Stewart? So Marty Stewart, I used to work in a office on Music Row. That was the buildings. There were 2 buildings that were owned by Steve Cropper. So yes, Steve Cropper from the Blues Brothers and Sam and Dave and Dock of the Bay and Otis Redding and all that. He owned these buildings, and we had like a little startup record label. And I worked as the A&R guy in this little startup label. Jay Ergo was in the house. Yes, he is absolutely right. Guitars are made better now. They're actually made better now. Oh, X5, I salute you, senor. I salute everyone. Bow to the X5 is in the house. The awesome X5. And let me tell you something. I didn't really realize those guys are musicians. That's why they pop into this podcast, and they are huge supporters. Thank you so much. Man, let me tell you something. And I don't even know if he wants me to do this, but I'm going to tell you something. That the main guy with X5 Podcasts, Charlie, he has an amazing country album in the can. He says he's got two. I've heard the one. Let me tell you something. I'm not a huge country music fan, even though I lived in Nashville and toured. I toured, with country artists. There's Michael. What's happening, Michael? Yes. So, I am not a huge country music fan, but Charlie sent me a link to his album. And, whenever somebody sends me their stuff, I'm just like, okay, do I listen to this? But I'm like, I gotta listen to this. I need to hear this. So I put it on, and let me tell you something. Dude, that album slams. It slams. And when he drops that out, let me tell you something. You want to talk about some hot guitar work? Man, the guitar solos on his record are absolutely on fire. They are on fire. So, yeah, thank you to X5 for dropping by on my birthday. We're having a little Red Bull. We're having some fun. If you had musical slumps, Al Bundy is asking about musical slumps all the time, brother. All the time. That is a fire super chat. X5 is always fire, though. They don't even have to super chat. They're just fire, bro. Yes, as a musician, slumps, depression, man, it's so easy to fall into that. And social media doesn't help. Dude, when I turn on, thank you, Baggett Corner, when I turn on Instagram, I'm at the point where I don't even watch Instagram. Because either you've got some 13-year-old playing some Paganini piece, just effortlessly, or then you've got the guys. And these guys are really, they're really not cool. All right, just keep the French. There's guys on Instagram. And dude, I know what a sped up guitar sounds like. Now, look, with the software, with these recording programs, I can increase the speed of my playing, but not the pitch. Now, back in the old days, if you sped up the tape, your pitch would go up higher. But now with modern technology, there's guys doing these little quick beep, where they jumping all up and down and doing this stuff. Dude, I know what it's, even though the music is in the same key, and you can, it's those notes are there on the guitar, they sped it up, and it's just like, oh, look at me, and dude, that's just not cool, man. Everybody's using technology, and they're using it to get one up on the other guy. But man, it's easy to fall into slumps. Ultimately, you have to come to the realization, yes, I'm a follower of Rick Beato. You have to come to the realization that you have to be the best you that you can be. And no one can play like you. That is what the great thing about playing guitar. There's always going to be somebody faster. There's always going to be somebody that can do this, and maybe you can't do that and all that. But you figure out what you do, and you do it to the best of your ability. And sometimes it's just like I've told people in some of my videos. If you got to battle a guitar player on stage, if he's playing a million notes, then you play one. If he's playing one note, then maybe you play 1,000. But you never try to beat a man at his own game. So, you just got to be the best you that you can be. And that's, depression in this business, man, it is a very, very real thing, right? I mean, dude, there's been times, and, when I was a single man and, I'd get depressed, that I could just lay in the bed and just be depressed for a couple days and try to snap out of it, right? But now that I've got a family and a daughter, I don't have time to be depressed. I don't have time with a 3-year-old to be depressed. There is no me recharge time. So, and I think I'm hearing them entering into the house right now, but we're going to keep this thing going. I told them that I'm going live today. It is my birthday. I got pulled out of Guitar Center early by Mia because she got upset when Mom told her she couldn't have a bongo. All right. Like I said, I would have bought the bongo for her. But, when a kid gets upset because she's not getting something, that's kind of a teachable moment. You have to teach them, look, and Mom said, look, it's Daddy's birthday. If Daddy wants a bongo, then Daddy could get a bongo. But, so these are the lessons and the things. I don't have time to be depressed. If I'm lucky, sometimes you get those points in the day where your body just goes, man, I got to lay down for a minute. And I'll lay down for 10 minutes and then I'm back up. And that's what I did when I got home from the guitar shop and they went to get their nails done. I laid down for 10 minutes and then popped up. Let's go live. We are ready to have some fun. We got 30 people in here that smashed that like button, that's hit that subscribe. We got X5 in the house. Everybody go and subscribe to their podcast. It is awesome. We are having a good time. I've missed some of the chats. Make your own style. I mean, look, the one thing I will say about before YouTube and all that, Red Bull is always an ace move. Gonna miss seeing down in Nashville. Yes, I miss Nashville, man. I miss the players, right? I miss playing with my good friend Michael Fair, Bo from Tupelo, the birthplace of Elvis Presley, man. Rest in peace. EVH would agree. Be the best you can be. That is it, Jay. That is it, man. You have to develop your own style. So you have to develop your own style as a musician and just be the best at it. And, my skill set is different than, that guy on the thing. Look, I've seen some of the greatest players, people that I thought were just incredible. Man, I miss you too, Michael. I've seen players that are incredible, but they get put in the wrong situation and they just tank. Okay, like there's a group, an instrumental group that's really popular right now, and they do that style where it's jumping all over the neck and triplets and harmonic popped out and beep, bloop, bloop, beep, beep, beep. It's that new guitar thing that those crazy kids are doing, right? But I saw where the 2 guitar players from that band got up on stage with Steve Vai to just jam on one of his tunes. The song was I think it was in E minor. Simple enough thing. Go up on stage with Steve Vai and dwa-da-dee-da, and all you had to do was do some E minor shreds, right? And man, they looked like fish out of water. It's like a fighting style. Not all fighting styles work in a real life situation. There's some that, will get, they'll get their butts handed to them. And I think these guys, in my takeaway moment was, man, their style of music, it doesn't really work in a combat situation. Thanks, Michael. I'm having fun on this channel. Al Bundy, being a father is the best. You are right, Al Bundy. And Al Bundy would know, right? Al Bundy knows. We're having a little Red Bull. I have a few classically trained pianist friends. They can't comprehend how to improvise. Yes, that's the thing, man. And for me, I've been improvising so long that it's hard for me to play the same thing twice, right? I did a metal session one time for Michael Wagner, who was the big producer that produced Dokken and Metallica and all these other guys, and he was doing this. This guy had, paid him, a good sum of money to produce a metal album, and so Michael needed some solos on some tracks, and so somebody said, "Hey, call badbrad. He's good at doing that kind of stuff." So Michael liked that when I came in, every pass was different, and that gave him options. I was like, "Okay, let me do one." So I did one, and I go, "Yeah, you want another one?" "Yeah, sure. You got another one? Psh, play another one. Completely different from the first one. You want another one? Yeah, sure. Psh, completely different." And he loved that because then, a lot of times guys like that from that era, they will comp a solo. So what I did was give him all what he needed to just comp it into this, solo that I would have trouble duplicating. But that's what I do, man. I'm an improviser. Now I can, like, if I play something really cool off the cuff, and I play something. "Oh, how you doing, Mia? Mia, you want to come say hi to everybody?"
Hi.
Hold on. You want to sit on my? Oh, you brought my card for me.
Yeah. So everybody will like to see it.
You want to see the card? Yes. Isn't that nice? Look at this nice card my daughter got me. It says, "Love you, Dad." Isn't that nice?
So, Garrett, what else you got?
Let's see. And look, she drew some snakes and some hearts inside. Isn't that nice?
I just showed you.
You drew me?
Yeah.
And it's an amazing likeness. Yes, it is. All right, you want to go see Mama?
Okay.
All right, say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Jay Ergo says, "Hi, Mia." That's my old guitar teacher. Yeah, so everybody say hi to Jay Ergo in here. He was my first good guitar teacher. He's here on this channel, Scott on Tape. "Hey, babe, X5 sent me here." Oh, man, awesome, Scott. What's happening, brother? Thank you for the birthday wishes. So, yeah, Jay Ergo is here in the room, and he was my first good guitar teacher in Williamsburg, Virginia. Now, Jay, I believe, if I'm correct here, was a graduate of William and Mary College, and he had this cool Epiphone, like 335 kind of looking thing. And I would take my Chuck Berry records that I'd gotten out of my mom's record collection, because I was kind of a throwback kid. I liked 50s rock when I was a little kid. And so I took Bo Diddley and Chuck Berry, stuff to Jay. And he would teach me these Chuck Berry, songs. "Roll Over Beethoven," I remember, was one we learned. And "School Days," "Up in the Morning and Out to School," do. And man, I still love that stuff. What is your oldest guitar? Let's see, can I get to it right now? Where is that thing? I have got, I don't know where it's at right now. I have got my great grandfather's Gibson L1, I think it is. It's from maybe 1920 or something like that. I did a video in the shorts section, and I document that guitar. Thank you, Jay. That is so kind. Thank you. 80, what was that? 66 Casino. Yes, William and Mary. He had like a house across the street from William and Mary College. Now, if any Steely Dan fans out there, there's a song called My Old School from Steely Dan, and it says, "Whoa, no, William and Mary won't do." Right. Do you have copyrighted mate? I don't know what that means. Um, Material. Yes, I do have copyrighted material. I have put out albums, and I produced albums and written songs, and I've done all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I got stuff out there, absolutely. And it's Spotify. Look up Bad Brad. There's an album, really good album I produced called Eric Blue Midnight Glow. And there's a lot of other projects that I played on. Suitcase Pimps is a really good project that I played on. It's kind of 90s rock. So yeah, I've done a lot of different stuff, but yeah, Jay was a really good teacher, and really got me on the path to learning rock and roll. Thank you, Annalisa. How are you doing? Are you doing all right today? So we're having a Red Bull. I'm kind of knocking this one back. Curious, but did you ever cross paths with Jane's Addiction and the Club Fear days? No, I'm from Williamsburg. Yes, and Williamsburg is a great place. Yes, I didn't cross paths with Jane's Addiction. I did see the guys from Guns N' Roses, a few of Duff and Slash, and Matt Sorum and stuff like that. But that Jane's Addiction kind of operated a little bit, on their own thing. I think Jay probably would still teach if you need a guitar teacher. Yes. Hey, Jay. Jay actually he did. I think we're like a house band there for a while. Yeah, I kind of heard about them, but I really, was kind of in my own little scene at the time, and once you're in your own band, you're too busy focused on that to really know what was going on. But I did when they came out, with Been Caught Stealing or whatever. It really kind of perked my ear, because I'm like, these guys don't sound like anybody else. They were totally more alternative than anything else on the strip. So we're having a little Red Bull. We've got 35 people in there. Let's smash that thumbs up. They're a very unique band, and Dave Navarro is a great guitar player. He is no slouch, man. He is a great player. This might be a 2 Red Bull day. He is in Mazatlan, Mexico, Jay Ergo. So if we've got anybody watching in Mazatlan, or I'm sure he could do a Zoom lesson. If you guys want to take a lesson from Jay Ergo, I'm sure he would love to get together with you. He's a really good dude, and man, I was very lucky to have him, because man, I had a teacher before that. And I've told this story on this channel, but my first guitar teacher taught me like maybe 2 lessons, right? And it was like a Mel Bay type thing. Open the book, and here's the little dots on the page, and it was Jingle Bells. So I see Jingle Bells, and I figured out what the first note was from looking at the page, and then I just, I just played the melody. And the guy came in the next week, and I played it, and he goes, "You're not reading." And I'm like, "Well, it's Jingle Bells. What's there to read?" Right? And he left the lesson, and then he called my mother and said, "Your son will never be able to play guitar, and I'm not going to teach him." And my mom comes in, and it was kind of one of those kind of mind-blown moments. She's like, "That was your guitar teacher, and he just said you'll never be able to play guitar, and he's not going to teach you anymore." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, what do you do with that information? I'm just a kid." Thank you, Earl. Thank you, brother. So thankfully, yeah. I mean, dude, how can you tell a kid that? I mean, first of all, it's Jingle Bells. I mean, and I never became a great sight reader. Man, I can read a chord chart like nobody's business. You could open any tune in the real book, and I'll comp my way through that tune, and I'll play voicings all over the neck. But it's like the next teacher I had after that was just the folk guitar teacher at school, and she taught me a few songs. She taught me some cowboy chords and a few songs, and that got me to where, oh, okay, now I can play songs. And then I went to Jay because I wanted to learn how to play Hola Al. I wanted to learn how to play leads. I wanted to play the Chuck Berry. I wanted to play the stuff that I was hearing in records, not cowboy chords and strumming songs, which it's a skill. That is a skill, in and of itself. But it's kind of unbelievable. It's part of this crazy, crazy story, of my life that I would go through that. How many people get told? I mean, most people would just, even if you were a terrible student, most teachers would just take the money each week, come back, and, oh, he sucks, but thanks for the money, and come back each week. And this guy just decided, because I didn't, right out of the gate, take to the Mill Bay book, that he was gonna just tell my mother I'd never be able to play guitar. I wish I remembered that guy's name. I think he worked at Colonial Williamsburg. And if I remember correctly, he drove like a red, like MG, like convertible MG type thing. And he had a beard. That's all I remember about that guy. But anyway, we're here now, and that guy can shove it. Did not get to buy a guitar today on my birthday. I was looking. I have 3 daughters at a baby shower for my first daughter. A friend of mine, wife, told me that I would experience what it is to fall in love again if my wife has a girl. She was so right. That is absolutely true. My daughter is beautiful. And, she has to deal with me a lot, and I have to deal with her a lot because my wife works from home. And so when my wife is on the phone and doing her job, I am Mr. Mom. So that is what takes up my day. And I know she probably gets tired of me and wants to be with Mom a little bit. But let me show this. My wife just threw me. So I went into Replay Music today, and they gave me a T-shirt. So that was very cool of them to do that. So I'll give a shout out to Replay. They were cool to do that. And I probably should have bought something. Mia was strumming on all the ukuleles and doing all this stuff. But I did continue teaching him how to read simply. It was a small part of our lesson. Yes, Jay helped me out with a lot of that stuff. And I remember, if somebody asked me to teach over the years, every now and then I would teach, and I would do just exactly what Jay does. We had a notebook and a pen, and whatever the lesson was, he would write it down. He'd go, here's your notes, here's this scale, here's this, and everything was, we would write it out on a piece of paper, and that's the same way I like to do things now. If somebody came to me and said, oh, my neighborhood kid wants to learn how to play, I'd say, bring me a notebook, bring a couple pens, and I would do it that way, because that's the way I learned, Won the local and regional talent contest playing Missed You by the Rose. Man, thank you so much, Jay. I was just a kid, just hacking away like everybody else. I appreciate it. Hey Brad, does Full Blast Studios and Van Nuys ring a bell? It doesn't to me, because I never really got to do a lot of recording out in California. We did a little bit at EMI, which had a studio right on Sunset, in like next to like some hipster, not hipster, but like upscale restaurant. EMI had a little like studio and maybe a little office right there. And then I did record it IRS Records. I did a demo there. So I rehearsed there back in the day, ran to Lemmy, Carmine, and Vinny Appice there. I was starstruck. Dude, I used to see Lemmy all the time at the Rainbow. I think I talked about it on one of my other podcasts, about hanging out with Lemmy and a couple girls from Sweden. And there was a picture taken that night. And I remember seeing the picture. And I had this hat that was like, it said sex on it. And I had this mane of hair, and it's me and Lemmy and these two girls. And many, many years later, decades later, I found the girls on Facebook. And I was like, do you have that picture? Please tell me, especially when Lemmy died. I'm like, please tell me you have that picture. And like, I don't know what that picture is. And like, damn it. Had that golden era picture. I saw him and he was shirtless, skin tight denims, and a machine gun shell belt. That sounds like Lemmy. Yeah. Yeah, you catch him playing pinball. That is Lemmy. Or my image of Lemmy is sitting at the gaming table in the Rainbow. And I'll tell you another story. Many, many years later, probably a couple decades after my time on the Strip, I went out to California. And these are the stories that people love. So I go out to California and I'm playing with Gary Lewis and the Playboys. And we're going to play the Jerry Lewis telethon that was every Labor Day, right? So, and they put us up, I think it was the Beverly Hilton. And, so it's right in Beverly Hills. There's this beautiful pool. I had my own room, and the room was facing the pool, so I could just walk out my door. And I mean, dude, the gigs like that are just like, this is ace, right? So we playing out there, and we go to the Rainbow. One of the nights I went to the Rainbow, and Lemmy was sitting at his gaming machine, and I go up to the bar, and Lemmy's just kind of in his own world playing the machine, and there's some other guy, and he's trying to talk to Lemmy, and I just said, yeah, Lemmy, man, I used to be out here, back in the day, and I used to see you and Entwistle all the time sitting at the bar inside. And he stops what he's doing and looks at me and goes, greatest bass player ever. And then he turns back and he goes back to playing his game. So he when I said the name Entwistle, everybody else is talking to him and he's just bzz, bzz. And yeah, so I tell people that story whenever they mention Lemmy. It's like I remember. I should have mentioned those Swedish girls, so he might have remembered them as well. But I used to always see him back in the day. Him and Entwistle would be inside at the bar, and they also had a little Pac-Man machine. Eric Blue, what's up? Thank you, sir. Hope to see you soon. I have upcoming work for you. All right. I'm down. I'm always willing to work. I'm not afraid to get my fingertips dirty, right? So we're having a good time here. It's my birthday. I'm having an absolute blast. We got 41 people in here. Please smash that like button. Everybody, you are a YouTube machine. Every time I look, your numbers are moving up. That is why, the reason why my numbers keep going up is because I don't allow them to go down. I know, when I put out a video in the morning, I know how many numbers I'm supposed to get, right? And I know what kind of content is going, what it's going to do. And here's the thing, though. You never know on YouTube what is going to pop and what's not. When I put out right now, the biggest video I've got on my channel is Broke on the Road. And I think that really, a lot of people related to that because, it's knowing, people want to know what, Count Me In is a great song. It is. So people want to know what musicians make. And then musicians, we have that shared experience. So everybody wants to know, and hear my story because it's so similar to theirs. But I put out Broke on the Road. I think I put it out in the afternoon one day. And it was one of those days where I put the video out and my first video of the day, it kind of tanked. And I was like, damn it. I'm trying to keep those numbers up, right? So I put out Broke on the Road and I didn't even think this is going to really even do anything. But it had a good thumbnail and it had a good concept. Do you have a schedule for us to follow? Well, Earl, if you notice, it seems like every morning at 8 a.m. I'm putting out a video, at the least. And I will watch and see how that video does, and that will determine whether I put out one later. And if I'm sitting, I'm literally when I'm almost like working YouTube all day. I'm watching my daughter, I'm helping my wife, and in between that, I'm hitting reply to every comment. I'm on there. I'm watching the numbers. I'm making sure they don't go past a certain point. I don't let the channel just fall off, because you will see. Broke on the road. I put that out. I didn't even think it would really do a lot. I just put it out to just keep the content and keep the numbers up. And all of a sudden, I started seeing the numbers getting crazy on that. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night at 3, 4 in the morning and see it got 800 plays, and it was doing that for like a long time. Black 22, late to the talk. Yes, Tim is in the house. But, so you just never know what's going to pop. So I will, that one still gets a decent amount of plays every day. Now, it's not doing 800 an hour, but man, for a long time there, it was doing 800 an hour for like maybe 3 days straight. And it touched something. And it gave me the design and the clue of where my channel needed to be headed. And it all of a sudden dawned on me that, man, people want to hear the real stuff. They want to hear the real truth about playing music and being a musician. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Now, somebody just asked me, write a book. Whew. Here's the thing. It'd be the same thing. Put out an album, right? And for us on the West Coast, 5 a.m. Yeah, that's early for you guys. I know it is, but it's also, it's late for the British and maybe some of those people over there. So it's kind of a trade-off. Not many people read books, all right? But it's just, I'm just plowing away at this. I kind of lost my train of thought. So if somebody could clue me in there, I'm going to have a little sip of Red Bull. Yes, thank you. I try to respond to everybody. And, here's the thing, man. I found by doing Broke on the Road and it taking off, it gave me the blueprint for what I do. And it's a blueprint that's always evolving. No need to write a book for a nation of non-readers. Exactly. This is my book. This is my book. And yeah, get the message out here. Yes, we don't talk politics in here. We're talking about guitars. We're talking about music. We're talking about things that matter. 8 is when it premieres. People just need to be consistent and watch, then like. Yes, I premiere the videos at 8 a.m. But you can watch them anytime. And when I'm on those premieres, I always try to be, I tell my wife, hey, my video's premiering right now. I try to be there and I'll say hi to everybody. And if somebody has a question or whatever, I try to be there and I try to respond to every comment. Now, I am guilty in the past. I had this channel for 12, 13 years. And I used to put out, videos back in the day. And I had some that I was in the early days with the Line 6 M5 or M13 or whatever those were. And I would do these demos and man, some of them would get, 60,000 or 70,000 views. And, I was busy out playing clubs and I wouldn't respond to everybody and I was just busy out doing my own thing. And now I realize, that was wrong. And there was a couple that 13 years later, I replied to this one guy. He said, man, do you remember your settings for this patch? I go, bro, it was 13 years ago. I'm lucky if I remember my name, but sorry, I'm just now getting back to you. And he got a real kick out of that I, waited 13 years to reply. But now I am on top of that. I'm working YouTube full time. It is a very happy birthday. Now, I've got this amazing birthday cake waiting on me. And I think we're going to go out for some sushi later on. Now, I had some budget sushi last night. We went and spent the whole day at the pool yesterday. and kind of had some budget sushi just because we were still in our swimsuits and stuff like that, and just hit a little place around the corner. But we're gonna go to a real sushi place tonight and have a little sushi, and then when we come home, we got this decadent cake. So it's been an awesome day. Let's see, we've only been on for 64 minutes. Hey, I got another 8 hours in me. Yeah, sushi can go various ways. Yeah. I never really had a problem with it though. I'm almost out of Red Bull. We're probably gonna wrap up here in a little bit, but you know what? I'll stick around for a little overtime, right? Because it's football season, right? I guess I'm now a Tampa Bay Bucks fan. I just wish Brady was still playing for him. Then I would really, you got to root for the old guys. Us old guys got to stick together. Gasparilla, if Tampa still does it. Yeah, that's the pirate thing. She will love that. I've had bad unagi before. Yeah, I would stay away from the bad unagi. I'm pretty picky about. Thank you, Big P. Southern Arizona tribes. I salute you, sir. The brave tribes of Arizona. We are so glad to have everybody. We got Tim Hardiman in here. We had Michael Fair, first guy that got me a gig in Nashville. We got Tim Hardiman, who works for CMT, an amazing video producer, and he's got a new guitar company coming out. We've had Jay Ergo here, my old guitar teacher. Favorite concert you've seen? Okay, well, this is going to require some tea because I'm out of Red Bull now, so we're going to have to go old school, right? This is what I really fuel my music with. Favorite concert that I've seen? There would be many to say. Obviously, getting to see Elvis Presley, in the jumpsuit era as a little kid, man, it's hard to beat that. It's hard to beat the experience of hearing the da 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 doom 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 doom. The guy had a friggin' orchestra on stage with his band and a cavalcade of background singers. I mean, that alone, you don't see nothing. Nobody travels with that many musicians on stage. Now you just have a backing track and a DJ, right? I mean, and then, when Elvis would come out in that jumpsuit, and the reason why he would wear those white suits is because he didn't have a light show like they have now. So all of a sudden you see this figure in white come out, and the flares on the pants are that wide, and he's got his hair, doing the thing, and the scarves, and the girls screaming, and the Instamatic flash bulbs going off. So that was an iconic moment. And I talked about on one of my videos, the best guitar performance I saw was Drew Zing with Steely Dan on their first, it was like Evel Knievel. Elvis was like Evel Knievel. Him and Bruce Lee and all those 70s guys, are just incredible. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to bounce too because the wife and the kid are home, and I've got to figure out what we're gonna do here for dinner and all that kind of stuff. But man, thank you to X5. Thank you to Jay Ergo. Thank you to Michael Fair. Thank you to everybody, Foo. Thank you to Big P. Thank you to everybody for being in this chat today. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Jet City. I salute you, Weekend Warriors, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, X5, again. I can't wait to go do the X5 podcast. It's going to be epic. Thank you, Jay. The best to you, my friend. Earl, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I will see you guys possibly tomorrow live. I'll probably do a live tomorrow afternoon. I can't predict a time. I kind of like to just show up, blow up, and then head out. So I'm going to do that right now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Foo. If the fish goes south, he says, get some Imodium. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, CC. Thank you, everybody, for coming today and wishing me a happy birthday. I appreciate it so much. And I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, 8 a.m. tomorrow, something. I'm going to put a video out. I've got a bunch in the can. So 8 a.m. tomorrow. Pete Thorne tomorrow. Yes, indeed. I might try and drop by on that, Earl. I definitely might try and drop in for that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I'll see you on the next one. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m., everybody. Have a good one.